Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron and welcome back today to another live stream. It is the player ratings. Leeds United 1, Everton 1 last night. I did say last night during the instant match reaction that I was going to do the player ratings today just because I didn't get home until extremely late last night, and as I'm sure you could tell by my instant match reaction, I was absolutely shattered. Barely had any sort of voice to do that video, so I thought, you know what, we'll do the player ratings tomorrow instead. So here we are. Obviously I know there's been a lot of news today surrounding Everton Football Club, surrounding signings. It looks like finally the deal to bring in Idrissa Gana Gueye will be completed. Gana is in Liverpool at the moment and has had his medical at at Finch Farm, and we are led to believe that we are literally just awaiting the official announcement from the club. And another Garner, James Garner from Manchester United, who, according to many reliable sources, most notably Fabrizio Romano, has signed his contract with Everton and will become an Everton player as well. Will we get both Garners announced at the same time? Who knows? We are going to do a transfer live stream in about an hour or so after this one, where we're going to talk about James Garner. We're going to talk about that deal. We're going to talk about Idrissa Gana Gueye and that deal. We're going to talk about a couple of other players that Everton have been linked with over the last 24 hours or so, because it has been a bit of a mad 24 hours. We're also going to talk about Anthony Gordon because there's been a little bit of an update with his situation. But we're going to do that in around about an hour or so. For now, we're just going to sit and do the player ratings from last night because, as I said, we missed that video yesterday, and it's important that we get through it. So let's just get straight into it. Jordan Pickford. I'm going to give Jordan a 7. I think he was okay last night, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I don't think he really did anything wrong. I've watched the goal back again, and it's a really strange goal, really, because when I saw it at first, obviously, at the stadium, I was massively convinced that it took a deflection because of how wrong-footed Jordan Pickford actually was. It seemed like the shot was originally going in one corner and then took a deflection which directed it elsewhere. But when you actually watch the replay, it doesn't take a deflection whatsoever. It's quite a clever shot, really, by the Leeds United midfielder, and it really does wrong foot Jordan Pickford. But I don't necessarily think that's Jordan's fault. If you watch the replay again, you can see James Tarkowski is sort of blocking his view, and therefore Jordan, is unsure as to where to place himself, and as he should do, as a goalkeeper, he places himself in the middle of the goal, but he sees the ball far too late to make any sort of movement for it. And I do think it'd be a little bit harsh to criticise Jordan for that. I understand some people will say, well, you've got to take that gamble, and you've got to gamble on one side if you can't see in front of you. But had he have gambled the other way, it'd have looked like a bit of a fool. So I think it was a little bit of an unlucky goal to concede, given, as I said, James Tarkowski was very clearly blocking Jordan's view, and I think it would be a little bit harsh to blame Jordan for that. Other than that, he didn't really have an awful lot to do, did he? He had a shot in which he had to deal with in the second half, where the Leeds player come across and tried to curl a shot in, and he dealt with it relatively well. A couple of other situations in which he dealt with as you would expect from a top quality goalkeeper. And like I said, nothing out the ordinary, nothing unbelievable. It's not like we're sitting here saying, oh my God, the best performance of his career. But he was good. He was good, and for me, he deserves a high rating for that. Nathan Patterson, then right wing back. I'm actually going to give Nathan Patterson an 8.5 out of 10. And he would have had a higher mark had he have buried that opportunity in the last 5 minutes or so. I thought Nathan was fantastic yesterday. Again, I said it before this game, Nathan Patterson's been a little bit unlucky recently, really, because if it wasn't for Alex Iwobi being absolutely unbelievable, Nathan Patterson would have picked up Man of the Match awards in maybe 2 or 3 games already this season, because he has been a very, very close second to Alex Iwobi for the best player in an Everton shirt during those fixtures. And yesterday was absolutely no different. I thought he was fantastic again. His desire, his work rate, his battle, winning the ball back, throwing large challenges in, showing his strength, showing his ability to knock players off of the ball. Yes, as I said, he should have done much better with his opportunity, and it was definitely a right-back shot. I think it's fair to say that. And listen, if Nathan's going to play as a modern-day fullback, which obviously he is, or in a back five, which we've seen him play as well, then he needs to sharpen up them shooting skills a little bit, because, even as a right-back, you would expect him to do better there. Even if he'd have just looked up, he'd have been able to square the ball, and I think Damari Gray, it was waiting in the box, would have had a comfortable tap in. But other than that, I thought he was fantastic. Defensively, I thought he was fantastic. Going foot forward, I thought he'd done well as well. He caused them problems. He won every challenge that he went in for. He battled with every Leeds player for the ball. I thought he was very, very, very good. And again, he was my man of the match last night. Don't get me wrong, there were other players in there. Onana, Iwobi. I thought McNeil impressed. Gordon. But I thought Nathan Patterson again was absolutely fantastic. So he's getting an 8.5. Obviously, Frank Lampard went with a 4 at the back as opposed to a 5 at the back for the first time this season. Connor Cody in there next to James Tarkowski. I'm going to give Connor Cody a 7.5. Thought he was solid. Thought he was okay. Again, there was a couple of opportunities that they had when he maybe could have closed the ball down a little bit quicker, or he maybe could have got out a little bit quicker to them. For example, their goal come from a lad being able to shoot on the edge of the box because he wasn't closed down, and I know that was more James Tarkowski, but I'm just saying, I think we could be a little bit more proactive with that. But I thought Connor done well. He done well in the battle. He done well with the physical side of the game in terms of getting up and winning headers, putting himself about, and he had a couple of situations where he was last man, when he had to deal with Brendan Allenson, who's a quick player who's constantly, running at your feet and constantly trying to, force you into making mistakes, and I think he done really, really well at dealing with that, so he's getting a 7.5. James Tarkowski, I'm going to give him a 7. I'll drop his mark slightly because I actually think he could have done a little bit better for the goal, not necessarily because he was standing in the way of Jordan Pickford, because that is one of them things that is just unfortunate, but more so because I think he could have got out to the ball. As I said, I think he could have charged it down a little bit more predominantly. I think he could have got at the player and stopped him from being able to at least, if not get the shot away, at least get as clear a shot away as he did. But other than that, I thought he was good. Tarkowski, I thought he battled. I thought he worked hard. A couple of really strong challenges in there for him, which clearly showed that, he was up for the fight. When Anthony Gordon was squared up with whoever it was, he was straight over there, to support his teammates and to, show his leadership qualities and how, he won't allow any of those players on that pitch to be sort of pushed about or bullied. He was straight over there in the opposition player's face, which was great to see as well, as were a number of other players. But it was great to see, he was straight over there, because I certainly wouldn't want to be fronting James Tarkowski, to be honest with you. But yeah, maybe could have done a little bit better for the goal, but as I said, I thought he was relatively solid other than that. And then Vitaly Mykolenko, I'm going to give him a 6.5. I thought he was good, don't get me wrong. Thought he had a decent game. Thought defensively he was okay, handled himself well. Thought he battled well with the ball. I do want to see more from him going forward, if I'm being honest with you. I want to see him getting in those attacking areas a little bit more. I want to see him causing a bit more of a threat going forward than what he did. Don't get me wrong, he played a couple of nice 1-2s with Anthony Gordon and Dwight McNeil at times, but I just want to see a little bit more from him. I want to see his qualities going, his forward qualities a little bit more. Defensively, I thought he was okay, and I think he's been very, very good since he's joined Everton Football Club, and I actually think he's had a good start to the season as well. But in terms of being an attacking fullback, which is very much the modern day way of playing, I still think he's got a bit of work to do. But he was okay yesterday. Into the midfield then, Tom Davies. Going to give Tom a 6.5 as well. I thought he battled well. I thought he worked hard. I thought he fought for the ball. I thought he done really, really well when Amadou Onana volleyed it at him, and he couldn't take it under control, so he threw himself on the floor and acted like he was here to win Everton the foul. No money messing. He fell under his foot, I think, which looked really, really painful. But no, I thought he was okay. Listen, Everton obviously are significantly improving their midfield as we speak with deals for James Garner and Adissa Garner-Gay looking like they'll go through before Saturday's Merseyside derby, and that means that you may be less likely to see Tom Davies in starting 11s, but in starting in the side. But I thought he was okay yesterday. I thought he battled. I thought he worked hard. I thought he, I thought he fought for the ball. I thought he put himself about. I thought he wasn't afraid to get involved with the challenge, wasn't afraid to get in people's faces. Really sort of gritty, hard-working performance by Tom, and I thought he done okay. Next to him then, Amadou Onana. I'm going to give Amadou Onana an 8. Just short of Nathan Patterson. I thought Amadou Onana was absolutely fabulous again yesterday, putting himself about, winning the ball back. Again, similar to Nathan Patterson, did have an opportunity to win the game towards the end from a corner, which fell to him in the box, and he had all of the space in the world to put it, the left-hand side of the keeper, a little bit like Nathan Patterson did, and decided to smash it right into a defender's face instead. But I thought, other than that, I thought he was excellent. He won every ball back. He was big, he was physical, he was demanding, he was leading, he was moving forward, he was causing them problems. He's a real big presence in not just the physical sense, but in a very sort of a metaphorical sense as well, in terms of his ability on the ball and what he brings to to this team. And again, I thought he was excellent yesterday. And bearing in mind, this is only his 4th appearance for Everton, his 2nd start in the Premier League, and he's played 3 games now in a week, practically 90 minutes in all of them, and I thought he was very, very good yesterday. Very sharp, quick to everything, won every tackle he went in for, and was quick to get us on the attack as well. A couple of really nice passes. So yeah, he is getting an 8. Alex Iwobi next to him, very similarly, is getting an 8. I thought Alex Iwobi again yesterday was fabulous. His work rate, his desire, his commitment, his energy, his passion, his ability to win the ball back, and we've said this numerous times before with Alex Iwobi. What makes Alex Iwobi so good at the moment? It isn't just his work rate and his desire and his passion and all of that. It's the fact that Alex Iwobi is and always has been a really good footballer. He's really good with the ball at his feet. He's really good with his feet in terms of, pardon me, how quick they are and how they can get him out of difficult situations. And now we're seeing the effort and fight and desire side of his game that just complements how good of a footballer he actually is technically. And seen a couple of situations yesterday when he managed to get himself out of a little bit of trouble by using his feet, and that is only going to bode well for him. And I thought he put in a really strong performance again yesterday. Really good performance by Alex Iwobi. And then the front three, Anthony Gordon, I'm going to give Anthony an 8.5. to be honest. I'm going to give him the same mark as Nathan Patterson. He got the goal again. Really nice goal. Lovely ball by Iwobi, by the way. Absolutely astonishing ball by Iwobi in behind to release Anthony Gordon. Gordon, very similarly to his goal against Brentford on the weekend, cuts inside on his left foot, strikes it across keeper and makes it 1-0. And I thought he fought, he battled, he worked hard, he didn't give up, he didn't stop. He continued from the first minute to the very last minute. And although at the end of the game, when Anthony and numerous other players looked tired and looked like they were flagging a little bit, he still continued to battle and throw himself about and chase the ball down and put pressure on Leeds players. And I thought he's done himself, a real big favour, Anthony Gordon, over the last couple of games or so. It looks like he won't leave Everton. Again, this is Everton, so I'm not sitting here confidently saying that he 100% will stay, but at the moment it looks like he won't leave. We've seen some reports today saying Chelsea aren't willing to pay more than 40 million for him, and if that's the case, then he'll still be an Everton player after tomorrow. But I thought he was very good yesterday. Thought he put in a good, tough, hard-working performance, and yeah, he deserves the credit for that. Dwight McNeil then, the other side. I'm actually going to give Dwight McNeil a 7.5, to be honest with you. I think it was his best performance in an Everton shirt. I think there was battle, I think there was desire, I think there was commitment. I don't think he was scared of challenging players. I don't think he was scared of putting his foot in. I don't think he was scared of fighting. I don't think he was scared of getting involved, creatively and going forward. And in terms of having an impact on the game, okay, he didn't do an awful lot, but I thought he didn't hide. Yesterday, I thought, he, as I said, he battled well. He put himself about, he worked hard, and, he made sure that every challenge that he put in was going to, be felt by those Leeds players. And I was actually really impressed with that. And then Damari Gray, I'm going to give Damari a 7.5 as well. I thought he played really well, battled, worked hard, fought, ran himself into the ground effectively. Okay, again, maybe should have done a little bit better with a couple of chances that he had. And, again, scored, for me, what is a perfectly good goal that was ruled offside unfairly. But, he was on target with it, so you've got to give him credit for that. But I thought he was a good, solid performance, battling performance. And yeah, I thought he did well. Obviously, there was no substitutes because Why would we make a substitute? But yeah, they are the player ratings. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. Massive thank you to everybody for watching live. Dennis says, morning Cam, Nathan had a good game. Still needs to learn a lot, but showing a lot. Yeah, Irish Toffee's in the house. Says Sean is right. Wimmy says, hey guys, how's everyone doing? Is right. Yeah, there you go. Look, we are going to finish it there then. As I said, we will be back in about an hour or so with a transfer last year. I'm going to sit down and talk about the latest transfer news. We're going to talk about James Garner. We're going to talk about Adjissa Garner-Gay. We're going to talk about Anthony Gordon, Kudos, and everyone else that we've been linked with over the last few hours or so, because it's been a bit of a mad couple of days to be an Evertonian. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this one, please do leave a like. Don't forget to check out the instant match reaction. That is up on the channel now if you haven't already. If you're watching the YouTube video, let me know your thoughts down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and we'll see you later.